which is setting your goals in Moxi as the for Moxi Engage. So you can set your GCI goal within Moxi Engage, and what that will do is basically, as an agent, and there's a manager mode as well, but as an agent, keep you on track for what you want to accomplish during the year. What that means is you will put in, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It will show you how to put your what your ideal GCI for 2022 is, how much money you as an agent want to make. And then it will keep you on track for that throughout the year. And it will show you, I'm going to show you some really cool screens that I only realized about a month or two ago existed. So where we're going to sit today is in Moxi. I'm in Moxi right now. I'm logged in as JD, and I clicked on the Engage tab right up here across the top. So you get Hub, Present, and then Engage. So if you've never been in as an agent, you'll just have your agent mode. If you haven't been in a while, or it's your first time logging into Moxi, you're going to have a pop-up bubble that appears right here on your screen. And what that's going to look like is something like this. So I have the support article up right here from Moxi to show you what that bubble will look like. It'll say, create a goal, tell us how much you want to make in 2022, and we'll get there, and we'll help you get there. So you put in your GCI goal, whatever you want that to be. Now, the thing that's nice is that this is editable. So if you're like, you can say maybe later if you want to make the screen go away, but whatever you put in, you can edit later. And I'm going to show you how to do that during this training. So you're going to put your goal in, and that's going to tell Moxi, what you're hoping to do. So once you've done that, what you can do is along this top bar here, so I'm in Engage, and then I've got my dashboard, my people, my calendars. There's actually going to be a tab right here for goals. So what I want you guys to do is click on that goals, and this won't happen for you. I don't have an MLS ID right now, so that's not gonna happen for you. You're gonna click on goals, and this is where you're gonna go. It's going to give you a breakdown of your goals throughout the year. Now, normally I'd love to show, use an example agent to show their screen to show what it looks like, but with something like GCI and stuff like that, it's a little bit sensitive, so I didn't want to use an actual example and use names and stuff like that. But I was floored by how awesome this data was. So, for easy math, obviously, right? Let's just say you put in $100,000 as your GCI goal for the year, and you've done 20 grand in GCI, it's going to tell you you're at 20% of your goal. It's going to tell you how much you've made, and it's going to have your number of transactions, your average commission rate, all this stuff right here. And what's cool is that in these tabs right here, it's going to break all of that down for you. As you can see, it's going to break it down by buyer and seller. It's going to have the average time to close. It's going to have the average price of the homes you've been selling, the close rate. You can organize it by active and pending. You can take a look at your prospects, what that could become. And then you can take a look at your GCI forecast, which is this is how much you're doing right now. If you keep on track like this for the rest of the year, this is where you're going to go, and stuff like that. This is, one thing that we and this is one right here, you can see that my office, this is a great one when you look at the comparable average, it's going to show you me for the year versus my office. So the average transactions completed per agent is just under 12, and the average transaction size per agent is 368.4 for the properties. So as a whole, obviously this is just kind of awesome additional data, but one thing that we've really been kind of focusing on going into 2022, at least from a marketing team perspective, and I'm sure from a leadership team locally as well, is having business plans and marketing plans in place for the year. Not just kind of going in and going, all right, let's see what I'm going to do this year. Having some sort of plan in place. And this data is so helpful from my perspective to help you with those plans, to show you, again, this is where you're at. This is what you're trying to do. This is where, if you keep doing this, this is where you'll be, stuff like that. So again, to get here, we went to Moxi Engage, and then we clicked on goals. And all of this data is right here under goals. And managers, if you're on ASCs, if you have manager access, you will be able to see this data from an office level as well. You can take a look at your whole office's kind of forecast for the year, which is great. So if you have set a goal, or maybe you hit the maybe later and you want to go back in and edit the goal, or ideally you're on track to surpass your goal. Maybe you hit you put $100,000 in, again, just for easy math, and halfway through the year at the end of June, you're already at 65 or 70 and you want to give yourself a newer goal, a loftier goal, if you will, you can change your GCI goal and it will change these percentages and stuff. All you have to do if you want to change that goal is along this top bar again, where we were clicking on goals earlier, we're going to go all the way to the right, and we're going to click on this little gear icon right in the middle here between the envelope and the find people. We're going to click the gear icon, and sure enough, there's a button right here that says GCI goal. So we're going to click on GCI goal, and just like that, it's going to let me change my goal. And what's nice is that it actually shows you what your goals were for the past 2 or 3 years. Now, obviously, I'm not using Moxi as an agent, so I'm just kind of putting in random numbers. So apparently in 2020, I put 200. In 2021, I put 100. And then this year, I put 175. It will allow me to just use my 2021 value to say, hey, I want to try to do that again. But, obviously, in theory, you want to try to better yourself each year. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend using the exact same goal. I would recommend upping that. If you had a good year in 2020, have a better year in 2021. Or wait, nope, we're in 2021. We're going into 2022. This is that weird period, the first month of the year, where you keep writing the wrong year on the checks, you keep doing that kind of stuff. So I'll put in 130 for my goal this year. So, adding 30% to what I'm trying to do. And then I click done. And just like that, I've updated my goal for the year. So that's it, guys. That's all I really wanted to show today. I am going to walk through it quickly one more time here in a second. But whenever we train on Moxi Engage, and I've done a fair amount the past few months, one of the things I always remind people is that this tool, any CRM, but Moxi specifically, it's only as useful as you make it. And if you go in and you set your goals, and literally, if you saw how quickly it took, setting my goal is plugging in a number and clicking done. But if you go in and you set your goal, and you check up on that throughout the year, that is very helpful, not only motivation, but specifically accountability to say, hey, I'm doing well this year, let's keep it up. Or, hey, I'm not where I wanted to be this year. I need to step up my marketing efforts. I need to step up my prospecting. I need to step up something here. This is the sort of stuff from a business perspective, as a small business, that I believe you should be tracking no matter what. And the fact that Moxi has this here to make it that simple for you and have it all on one screen without you having, I'm not a spreadsheet person, I'm no Steve Bell. Tracking this sort of stuff for me would be a nightmare. So having this right here is super, super helpful. So let me just show you one more time how to get there. So normally when you log into Moxi, this right here, if it will load, this right here is this first screen you're going to see, right? This is your account, right when you've logged in. And all you want to do is you're going to click on Engage across the top bar. And once you hit Engage and it loads, because, time is fun like that, you're going to switch to agent mode. And again, the agent manager thing will only be for manager level people. But from here, you're going to click on goals. Now, if you remember our next step, it was clicking on that gear icon and clicking our goals there. If you are not on this goals tab, so right now I'm just in Moxi Engage, and if I click on the gear icon, that GCI goals or GCI settings does not show up here. You have to be under that goals tab for that to show up. So let me show you what I mean. I'm in Engage, and I go over to the goals tab. I click on goals. Yes, okay, I don't have an MLS ID. Have you all your screens right here. And then when I click this gear icon, there it is. There's that GCI goal button where I can add my GCI goal. I can edit it, stuff like that. So let's see. If agents set their goals with the manager already, can the ASC enter the goals, or do we need access by the agent? That's a good question, Sherry. So Sherry's asking if the agent, which first of all, the fact that you guys are having those meetings is great. If your agent has set the goals with the manager, can the ASC enter the goals, or do we need access by the agent before we could do that? My assumption is the latter, that you would need access to the agent's account to do that, because you're editing stuff within their account. I will, after we get off, before I load this YouTube video, I'll try to see if I can do that on a manager level, and I'll let you know if I can, but work under the assumption that the agent would need to do that. But again, this video is going to be in Blue Matters Monday next week, so you can show that to them. And additionally, I cannot stress enough how great the Moxi support site is, because I literally went to support.moxiworks.com, which you can find right in Schmidt Resources in the Moxi Square, and I typed in GCI. In the search bar, I typed in GCI, and these search results come up, and the first one is updating your GCI goal. So I'm going to make sure to add this into the thing as well, but it's going to show you step by step what you need to do. So if it's something where the agent does have to do it themselves, this is going to show them literally step by step what they'll need to do. So yeah, that, like I said, you click on the goals tab, you can see all these great different data points here. And if you want to edit your GCI goal, simply click on the gear in the upper right corner, click GCI goal, and there you go. You'll be able to edit it to whatever you want to edit it to.